Well, welcome. We're now going to look at character outcome number one, learning experience number four. And this is maximizing your plan for kingdom impact. And so I'm going to share my screen again. And this really is more of a mindset than it is anything else, but it's a really critical mindset for not only for us to have, but for those we minister to, our supporters, and those in our churches. Because what's going on in this learning experience is very often people have a wrong mindset, and as a result, we are undermining our ability to reach scope, meaning that we're undermining our ability to give every person a hearing of the gospel. So let's go ahead and look at the next slide, which will really establish the main views that people have, and we'll look at the one on the left first, and that is the sacred secular view. And I want you to look at that diagram. In the red, we see that that's the sacred side, and in the blue, we see that's the secular or the worldly realm. People who hold this view very clearly say, okay, there are professional people to do the work of ministry. That is not me. My job is to work, just to focus on my family, or if I'm a politician in the area of politics, or if I'm a businessman, business, if I'm in the area of education or the arts, then that's where I'm going to pour my energies. But really, it has very little to do with my spiritual life. When I go to church on Sunday, that's when I'll do my spiritual thing, right? But the reality is, if that's the case, then what they're saying is, I'm paying you, professionals, to do the work of ministry, and that's fine. I can live with that. And I'm just going to do what I do and really just enjoy that. And that's really the extent of what I want to do. But I'm paying you actually to do the work of ministry. I am not paying you so that I do the work of ministry. Well, that's a problem, because then you have a very few people who are actually about the work of expanding God's kingdom by sharing their faith, discipling others. Only those paid professionals, those who are in a church. So that's the sacred secular view. It's a really cancerous view. It's a demonic view, in my assessment, because it truly eliminates our ability to reach scope. Now, there is a second view, and this is the two kingdom view. And this is really established all the way back in Genesis 3, right? When we saw that the seed of the woman was going to crush the head of the serpent. And what that's saying is that the seed of the woman are those who are aligned with God, those who are wanting to build God's kingdom, those who represent God and his interests in the world. Then we have the kingdom of Satan, right? And those are the people who are opposed to God or are indifferent toward God, but their interests are their own interests, okay? Or they live within the satanic system that Satan himself has set up. And so what you see here, though, is that there is no sacred area, whether it's church, family, politics, business, arts, education, sports, journalism, they all are, there's a battle going on for the hearts of people in those areas. And so either Satan is going to be winning this battle or God is going to be winning this battle. And we are his representatives in the battle, meaning that if I am a businessman and I am a Christian, that means I'm a Christian businessman, which then means that all my business contacts, the way I run my business, those that I come in contact, all of those are opportunities for me to demonstrate the lordship of Christ in my life. So I do that by running an ethical business. I do that by treating my employees with respect and caring for them and making sure they get paid a fair wage. That means when I'm doing dealings with others, that I represent Christ in those dealings, and I establish good, fair business transactions with people. I don't give them a bad product, or if I do that, I then own the fact that I gave them a bad project, and then I then need to then make up for that. And also then it means that all my contacts are opportunities for me to share the gospel and to see people come to Christ and then to grow them in their faith. It's not up to the job of the professionals to do that. In fact, it's their job to equip me as a businessman to do that, which is interesting that I'm paying those in the church, or I'm supporting those who do ministry to equip me so that I can actually do the work of ministry. That's Ephesians 4:11 and 12, right? That their job is to equip me so that I can do that. So that way, whether it's the church or the family or politics or business, all of those, when a person graduates from college, and we've been working with them for 3 or 4 years, and we've been pouring into their lives, and they want to be a politician, or they're a sports person, they're going to be an athlete. We applaud that. We say, yeah, that's great. And now what we want you to do is use that context. That's your arena to share Christ and to bring people to Christ. And I'm going to help you to do that. Okay, that's the two kingdom view, that the kingdom of God and the kingdom of Satan are doing battle in all of these areas. And if we mobilize and we help people to have a vision that God has placed you in that strategic place in the area of science to influence your peers and to represent Christ in science, all of a sudden we can reach scope, because we have the scientific community, the political community, the arts community. We have all these different communities where Christians are being salt and light, and they're making Christ known. And so that is how we will reach scope. And that is how the mindset that we have to instill within our disciples, within those people within our churches, is so that they can see that if you adopt the sacred secular view, then you are cheating yourself and you're robbing yourself of opportunities to serve God, but also you're undermining God's ability to then reach scope. With the two kingdom view, we actually join God in making scope a possibility, reaching the entire world and giving each person an opportunity to hear about the gospel. Okay, and so once you have that mindset, then what we want you to do is three things. One is we want you to develop a smart plan, right? Where are you going to take this mindset and help others to make sure that they don't fall into the sacred secular mindset, but that they have the two kingdom view? And then once you develop that smart plan, right, you are then going to need to tell others from your smart plan. You're going to execute that smart plan, and that the others then will be mobilized and they'll be empowered to actually go out and to begin to make a difference. If they're not making a difference presently in their context, they'll now be able to see that that is the place that God has them to make a difference in this world, and that we can develop them and applaud them and join them in that effort. So this is the heart of this, is that we want to help people to maximize kingdom impact by mobilizing those that might have otherwise not been mobilized just because of their worldview, saying that, well, I have a sacred secular view, and my job, I'm working the secular and you work in the sacred, so you do the work and I don't have to worry. We need to get rid of that and help them to embrace the two kingdom view. And when we do that, we are actually helping God to develop and to build his kingdom. So that's at the heart of this. And so for you in your master assessment time, you'll need to be able to express this, okay? And you'll need to be able to have the knowledge to be able to do that. And then you're going to need to be able to show character-wise how it is that you go about this process. And then finally, in the field, how you're actually helping to mobilize and empower others to do the same. So that's at the heart of this. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you have a great time in your master assessment of just appreciating what God has been doing in your life, that you have this worldview, and that you can then celebrate that accomplishment. Thanks.